Hi guys, happy Friday, crafters. I hope everybody's doing good. So just give it a minute, let some people get here. So I hope everybody's well today. It is a beautiful day here in New England. Not too cold, and luckily we do not have any snow yet, which is awesome. So happy about that. I'm trying to see if for some reason I am not seeing comments. There we go. Okay. So anyhow, today we are going to do one of my favorite tumblers. I love this. So fun. We're going to do a nutcracker tumbler, and there are a billion different kinds of nutcrackers. So growing up, I used to collect them, and they come in all kinds of designs. You know, the most common are the soldiers and the kings, which everybody seems to, you see those all the time. And then they had animal ones, and there's just so many choices. So don't be limited to what, you know, I'm doing. Explore and expand and have fun with it, because you can't go wrong with a nutcracker. They're really super easy to do. This is probably on a scale from, 1 to 10 in difficulty. I want to give this like a 3. So it's a great, hi Dana, hi Ramona. It's a great starter tumbler for people who want to branch out from doing like a solid color cup, or the tap method, or, just some of the more simplistic ones. It's a little more detailed, but it's super, super easy to do. So the hardest part is finding the image that you're going to use for the face. I have a few of them, and I will post them after I'm done. So, you can just take the file, convert it into whatever if you're using a Cricut or if you're using a Silhouette, convert it over into an SVG. You can go on Google. They have all kinds of different free faces that you can use. If you prefer to use like a water slide, that's okay too. Whatever you want to do. If you're super crafty and you want to paint the face on, then hey, that's awesome as well. And I will be doing a couple of those later on in the month. Not live, I don't think, but it's just, I like doing things like that. So and I'm not a big water slide fan myself, because I just don't have any luck getting them to go on straight. They look awful. I just knocked over all my prepped glitter that I had in my little cups. I just one fell swoop wiped them all out. So what you need in order to do this project is a tumbler of your choice. Now, I am today using a 30-ounce straight skinny cup, which I have sanded. I spray painted it entirely white. And then I marked off my colors in how I wanted to do it. And again, based on the image that you choose to use, you're gonna have to vary how your colors go. So what I then did was I did each color in an acrylic paint, just to kind of keep me on track, so that I wouldn't get confused as to, oh, what am I supposed to be doing for color here? Because it's 4 colors, but still, things happen. So this is the painted tumbler. So I started by just spray painting the entire thing in a matte white. And then I put the colors that I'm going to be using, or closest to what I'm going to be using for my little guy. So the top part here, we're going to get a little fancy up here, and when I get to that point, we'll go over it. The white is going to be the face, the red is the jacket, the blue would be the pants, and then the black on the bottom are his boots. Now you can raise up, if you want your nutcracker to have taller boots, then you could move them up, move the black up. So again, I want to suggest that before you actually like get into deciding, well, how you're going to do it, find your image, because that's huge. I had a couple of them. I found one that I had actually printed out in vinyl that I was going to use, and I really don't like this guy. As a matter of fact, I didn't like the teeth in it. They're just really hinky. So I'm going to redo it. And also, if you notice, like when I line him up, his boots come like way up, and I didn't want that much black in the cup. And I would have readjusted it, because I had already prepped this tumbler when I printed this guy out, thinking, hey, I'll have one ready to go. But so you can see, now I found this on Google, just as an image, and I just converted it over. So again, like I said, find one that you like, and I will post a few of them afterwards, and they're just super easy to do. What I do like about this guy is I do like his belt, so I'll probably be using that at the end. His face isn't too bad other than the teeth, but I don't like this jackety part. I wanted to be able to do something else. So I have one of those, and when I finish the tumbler, probably later this week or weekend, I'll post up pictures of it. So super, super easy. The black, like I said, are the boots, the pants, the jacket, the face, and then this is going to be the top. The only change that we need to make in the top after you do this, I didn't do it, was you need to make his crown. I'm going to make the king. And so what I did was I made myself a little template out of just paper, and it's just going to go over this like that. And when I put my Mod Podge on, then I'll put my gold over that. So if you have questions as we go along, be sure to ask. But this is, like I said, this is probably one of the easiest tumblers that I have ever done. It works up super fast. You could even let the kids help with something like this, and I've been trying to find more things that kids can play with and to be helpful, because kids like to be helpful. The standard measurements that we're using is this 30 ounce straight skinny. Amy has these. I can't remember how much they are, but they're perfect. So 10 inches around the top, and then 9.5 inches long. So I have the dimensions of 1.5 inches for the black, 2.25 inches for the white and for the red, 2.5 inches for the I said 1.5 inches at the top, 2.5 for the blue, and then whatever's left over at the bottom is it roughly is about 3/4 inch, and that's all that you're going to do. So once you have, now you don't have to pre-paint. I like to, because I'm using fine glitter, and I sometimes, I don't know, for some reason I don't get, sometimes I don't get super good coverage, or I have to do it 3 or 4 times using Mod Podge, which is, I'm looking at other things. I'm actually going to, I haven't tried tack it yet. I really want to, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So what I'm going to use for the tumbler is, I'm using, these are all PPM glitters. This is the 403 Black Pearl, and that's going to be the top and the bottom. We have, for the crown, I am going to use, and I haven't decided yet, but I have two. I have the Gold Nugget and the Champagne River. Champagne River is probably my favorite gold that Amy carries. I really like it. It's a lighter gold. It's kind of like a beach sand gold. Works super great for just about anything. The Gold Nugget is great, but it's very, very yellowy. And I don't personally like that. So, but if you like it, then, you know, like I said, hey, this is your creation. You put on there whatever you like. So there's our white and black. Our white is just Pearly Gates, 111. For the bottom, I'm going to do his pants in the 107 Blueberry. I love this color. This is so pretty. But again, you don't have to do it in these colors. If you want to make the jacket blue and the pants red, go for it. You know, there's no rules here. Remember, when you're creating, when you're making something, there are no rules. You're the artist, and you can use your artist discretion to decide whatever colors you want to use, you can. I'm using all fine glitter. The reason I'm using all fine glitter is because I just don't want to deal with chunky. You know how chunkies are. You got to do a lot of extra work. You're going to tap it all down. It's kind of a pain. So I'm not going to do that on this. I did try one with chunky glitter. I mixed a combination of chunky and fine together. Really did not work out quite the way that I wanted it to. It didn't look right. So I think with the nutcrackers, a more uniform, straightforward look is better for them. You just need your standard Tack-It or Mod Podge. I'm using the Mod Podge because I did buy some Tack-It because I wanted to try it, and I put it someplace safe, meaning I don't know where it is. So I hope everybody's doing good and you're getting all your crafts done for the holidays. I know that it's a super busy time for a lot of people. So me, I'm in school. Taking classes, and so I've got like 2 humongous things due this month on top of everything else. Good luck to me. I don't know how that's all going to work out. So I have a bunch of people's watching. This is so cool. So this is really, like I said, it doesn't get a whole lot easier than doing these. I generally start with my darker colors, and I leave my white till very, very last, just because I don't like to get a bunch of stuff. I don't know, for some reason when I just don't like getting a whole bunch of stuff into my, it cross-contaminates, particularly when you have to tap off everything. So usually I start off with my blue, and there will be a belt on this guy, but I'm going to add that in afterwards. I haven't decided if I want to do it in vinyl or if I'm going to do it in glitter yet. I'll make that decision before I'm done here today. And then we can just add it. This is, like I said, this is super easy, super fast too. I was kind of surprised. I thought that they would be a lot more difficult to do, and they're really not. I'm still working on trying to figure out how to get my camera up. I bought a holder thing for it, and it doesn't give me, you guys still can't see what I'm doing. So I have no idea. I do usually go all the way around personally. Now I did this guy all the way around, so it's gonna be full. But then I thought about it and I was kind of like, maybe I would only want to do the front part of the nutcracker and then leave the back as a solid. So, you'd almost split it in two, split it in half, and then do your front part with your face. Because there's really nothing going on the back of the nutcracker. So I think that would be like a really cool place to put like a nice little saying, or whatever you want, a picture of, the family, something that personalizes the cup, more so than just a name on there. I think it'd be really, really neat to have something like that. So again, you're just going to cover your stuff and then get you some glitter and sprinkle it on. So like I said, I was really doing well today. I was getting all prepped and I had everything ready to go. And right as I flipped on my camera to go live, I just knocked the whole thing over. So I have my back part of my desk is just full of glitter, totally full of glitter. I'm also going to try a new experiment today where I'm actually going to use different pieces of paper for my glitters, because I'm kind of having a problem with the cross-contamination thing, which really stinks. This color is so pretty. I just have to say that this is probably like the most amazing blue color. And it's the blueberry. It's just beautiful. It's vibrant. It's gorgeous. I like to figure out other things to do with it, because it's such a pretty blue. It could be great for summer. I think that I don't really necessarily see it as a winter blue, but for the nutcracker, I think it works super good. Can't find that safe place. No. And I'm surprised that I'm not plagued with cats today. My little helpers. If I'm doing epoxy, I don't let them in. If I'm just doing glitter stuff, they'll just stand at the door, the opening, and scream. I have a curtain up. We don't have a door for my studio room. And the cats are hysterical. They'll just stand at the curtain and scream at me the entire time. So I figured it's better if I just let them in. So you may see my kitties around. Now, when you do these, if you haven't done a multiple color cup before, a lot of you have, but some of the new folks that haven't not, please remember to seal your glitter. You do not have to seal it in between each color. That would be just, you could. You totally could if you wanted to. But this is just going to make a mess. If you don't seal these, when you put epoxy on here and it starts turning, the whole thing is just going to kind of swoosh together. And that is definitely not a desired effect. I remember one of my very first tumblers that I made, it came out so good. I did green and black stripes. So I was doing a Selena from Once Upon a Time Wicked Witch cup for a friend of mine. And I spent just all this time setting up the lines and getting them just right. And it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I did not know that I needed to seal my glitter. And even though the Mod Podge was completely dried, it just swirled into this like disaster. It was very disappointing. So lesson learned. Remember, always seal. All right, so there's our blue. It does not take a lot of glitter to do these. I was a little surprised as well, because considering, you know, you're covering a lot of space. All right, so next color I'm going to do is Rudolph, and I love this color. I think this red is just amazing. I also love, if you want to get another beautiful red that Amy has, is the Santa Fe, which is it's a chunky, and it's a 132 Santa Fe. This is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous. But again, like I said, I don't want to do yeah, trouble with my words today again. I don't want the chunky on there. I just I want to go with a solid fine glitter. So the next is our red, and this is all there is to it. I mean, like, it's super easy. Hey Snooks, how's it going? You didn't miss much, just kind of going over prepping the cup so you can catch back up on that. I think I am probably going to do his belt in the glitter. I just like that uniform look of everything. And then the face, I'll end up doing, after I get some epoxy on it, I'll end up doing it. I think it'll look really good that way. So like I said, super, super simple. Kind of looks like a French flag. So one of my other tumblers that I decided that I would probably do on a live is I'm going to do a Christmas Carol, or I will do the actually the Nutcracker with Drosselmeyer and Clara. I thought that would be something unusual and different. Because that's what it's all about. I generally stay away from doing the same thing that everybody else is doing out there. I guess I'm weird like that. Because to be unique at the time is fine. And I've actually gone so far as to do, like, you know, nutcrackers in the summertime. Yeah. And surprisingly, people like that. You know, so never be stuck with just the season or what's going on. All right. Okay, good. I've been looking at brushes for Mod Podge. So I love these little brushes. I got a pack of them, and they were like really inexpensive. And yet the problem is that after a couple of times, the bristles start falling out. And I'm not really hard on them, but the bristles fall out. And then they don't they don't cover right. They get hard to clean. And it's kind of like, so I've been looking at brushes. And a lot of people recommended the Mod Podge brushes. But they seem like they're pretty pricey. So I don't know if it's going to be worth doing, because I do a lot with Mod Podge. The more fancy stuff I get into. I've been doing a lot of stained glass cups. So I tend to go through an awful lot of brushes that way. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if it's worth it. You should never have to go back in and re-glue your glitter spots when you're doing stuff like this. So put on a thick enough layer of glue. When you sprinkle your glitter on, You know, if whatever doesn't cover the first time, if you're seeing white spots like glue spots, just sprinkle some more on there. Sometimes you have to tap it down, and then just check over it. So like I said, because sometimes it can mess up your design if you go back in again later on and have to re-glue over it. It doesn't, for some reason, it can kind of chunk up on you. So that's why I tend not to go back in. I also don't really brush, like I did my blue first, and then the red. There's a little bit of the red that's kind of set down over the top of the blue. I'm not going to brush on that right yet because it will actually blend in. Also want to be careful when you're touching your white spot. So I'm going to now go up because I've already got, I'm going to do the black after I do this next part because I want to have a chance to dry. I got some of these great little pens. These are by a company named Posca, and you can pick them up on Amazon. They're just paint pens, and they're just awesome, awesome, awesome. So like I said, I made my little paper crown, and I'm just going to hold that on there, and I'm just going to kind of give myself, so my stuff is drying here. You could tape it down if you want to, but I'm probably not going to bother. And I'm just going to draw on my lines for my crown. If I can grab hold of this. Dang it. Now you could make a template that goes all the way around if you really want to. That's totally up to you. I like my crown to come all the way up to the top. Some people do not. They want, they want to leave a little rim. And that's okay too. Like I said, you're the artist. You decide what you want. And had I thought about it beforehand, then I would have. And it doesn't really matter if your stuff smudges a little bit. But you're the artist. You decide what you want to do. There's no right, there's no wrong here. My way does not have to be your way. This is just a guideline for you to go by. I spent, my first one of these that I did, I spent so long trying to figure out how to do the crown. It's a terrible sound that's making on it. So what's everybody making? What are you guys working on? Is it all Christmas stuff, or are you doing, like what kind of coolness are you working on? This is strictly just a guide for me to know how I want to do this crown. And I do have one spot where this is not quite even, but I think that's going to be okay. So you can see I just kind of scribbled it on there. And by the time we're done, you're never going to notice it. Now, you can run vinyl if you know how to do that. I'm still learning with the Cricut. I just have like I don't know. I'm not very good at it. I haven't figured out how to do names yet. I haven't figured out any of that stuff. So if you know how to do it, you could make a vinyl crown if you wanted to. I'm trying to figure out how to do, I want to do a Snow Queen tumbler. I think that would be really neat. So I'm going to figure that out. So my next color is going to be the gold. Everybody's so quiet. If you're working along it, you know, say if I'm going too quickly, like say something, because it's hard to tell. But these are, like I said, these don't take a whole lot of time. It's probably one of the least complicated tumblers out there that I've done. And like I said, if you're new, if you're just tuning in, I always do my darker colors first, just so that I don't get all that dark color in my white. The faces are, you know, you can do white, you could do French cotton, you could do really any lighter color on your tumbler, you know, for your face. As long as you can see whatever vinyl or water slide that you're going to put down, that's kind of the important part with it. All right, cool. So once I get this gold on here, then we'll do the black part. Yeah, I don't believe I just did that. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to use the Champagne River just because I really like this gold. I think it works really nicely. It's really pretty. It's a lighter gold. But it is my favorite. I hope she has more of this, because I think I got this in my beach box, believe it or not, back in July. And I just really love it. It covers really well too. You know, like they all cover good, but this one seems to cover super, super good. Like I rarely have to go back over spots with it. Generally, I use parchment paper when I am glittering, because I like the fact that the parchment, it doesn't stick to it like this. Just sort of really just all comes off. So I had some cross-contamination, so this is still... So I'm going to have to put all this in another little cup. So what do you do with your cross-contaminated glitter, guys? I mean, what is there to do with it all? Like, do you throw it in a mold? Do you just use it and say, oh, the heck with it? I don't care. I'm just going to put, you know, I'm just going to use that black or that red and it's still got gold in it. Like, what do you do with your cross-contaminated glitters? All right. So next up is the black, and we just go back in and fill in any of the spots on the top of the crown that need to be done. Dump cup. Yeah, but what do you do with the dump cup, Dana? Like, do you have projects that you use it for, or? I have such a huge amount of that cross-contaminated glitter, like, oh my gosh. And I hate throwing stuff away. Like, I really do. It's like I'm of that mind of, hey, I might need that. Save for a rainy day. Yeah, exactly. That's my whole thing is I used to do that when I was sewing. So for years I had a Celtic Renaissance wedding dress company, and I used to work a lot in these gorgeous velvets and jacquards and silks and things, and I hated to throw away the scraps. And some of the scraps are really big, so I would save them and save them and save them until I ended up with like loads of bins full of all this scrap fabric, and I could never figure out what to do with it. I'm not a quilter. I tried, but it just didn't, I don't know. It's not me. I'm definitely not that quilty person. That's a cool idea, Snooks. I have some that came out nice. Like, some of them actually look like I mixed them, and they do look good together. In the cup. Like, I had one when I did the plaid, Christmas plaid tumbler, and I thought it looked super awesome. But other than that, I have no idea like what to do with it. I don't do a lot with keychain molds. Like, my client base, they don't want anything to do with that. Unless it's skulls and weird stuff. They don't want anything to do with, all that cute stuff. So I may have to figure something out. But some of my mixes are just yucky. They just look awful. I had done something with white, and I ended up getting like red in it, and like I just shook that off, and I just ended up with a whole bunch of red falling off into my black. So I should probably wait more time in between adding the colors. Maybe that would help. Just because when I'm on the live, I don't like to keep people tied up for too long. All right. So it's very shiny. Now we'll do the bottom. Running out of space to hold this guy. Now I do tend to let stuff dry before I put the white on, just so that I don't get all these other colors mixed into my white. So I never seem to have enough white glitter. I had just got pearly gates and something else. Single pearl, I think it was. And I'm already like halfway through my whites. I don't know if it's just you tend to use more white than others, or at least I do. And I'm not even sure why, because I don't recall doing a lot of stuff with white. But when you're filling in spots, I guess the white is a predominant color a lot of times. All right, super, almost there. See, it's gluey, glittery. Now do the bottom. I just do the bottom like the black with the for the boots. You could do other colors if you wanted to. I just I don't know, I think it looks cool. And I don't really ever do a whole lot with the bottom of my tumblers. I might put the person's name on the bottom of it, but I don't do much else with the bottom. Do you guys do that? Do you put like your logo or anything on the bottoms of the cups? I know there's some controversy as far as the, the proper way or to finish off a bottom. But I don't know. I don't put my name on my tumblers. I just hand them a card because I figured, sometimes people don't like that. I do like the coverage on these glitters. They really cover super, super good. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm actually tapping my tumbler on the black glitter that's fallen down so I can get the bottom. So much easier than trying to sprinkle it on there. For some reason, it seems like when I have a tumbler on the turner and I am trying to cover the bottom of it, it's almost like I'm there and I'm like throwing the glitter at it because it just doesn't seem to want to go on. It's crazy. So now I have this really gorgeous mix of this black and the red together. It looks super pretty. So I'll have to find something to do with it. So, but you guys see, like, this is the crown, the face, the jacket, the pants, and then the little feet. And then we'll let this sit for a minute, and I will start to brush off the white area. It's not working so good. There's my other brush. This is my favorite brush off brush. It seems to work the best out of all of the ones that I have. As long as I keep it out of the glue, which I have a notoriously bad habit of just kind of coming along and grabbing a bunch of the glue from one of the other colors, and what a mess that makes. Ooh, that'd be pretty. Yeah, I like the idea of doing something on the bottom. I just don't know what. It's like I sit there and I'm like, I don't want to take away from the design that's on the cup, but to have it to be uniform, that's a good idea. That's cool. I must have a lot of static in the house today. Because I've got, like, the glitters just sort of sticking to the cup. And I prepped this cup like a week ago, so I know it's not that. All right. Cool. Find a clean piece of paper for the white. No, I'm boring today, huh? I don't know why. But, all right. So I have French cotton, I have single pearl, and I have pearly gates for the white. I'm not sure. I really love this French cotton. I think it's sort of an off off-white with a silver in it. I don't think that'll work good for face, though. Where's my other one? Pearly Gates. That's super, super pretty. I think that would probably be a good white. Yeah. Thank you, Snooks. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is really pretty. I love this color. This Pearly Gates is gorgeous. Now, hopefully I'm not gonna contaminate it all. So. But certainly makes glitter makes such a lovely mess. Everything is so sparkly when we're done. Alrighty. I hear a lot about using the tacket, though, from people. They really seem to like it. I've, again, never used it. I've thought about it. I did get some. I put it in a safe spot. So I'll have to go hunting for it. But I was a little confused by it because you don't... Somebody said you have to wait. You put it on and then you wait, and it stays tacky. Which is like, oh. I don't know. All right. This matte white paint is great. I wish all of my spray paints was as good as this. The coverage is fantastic. It's just the plain Rust-Oleum matte. Covers super, super well. Really easy. One coat goes right on. No muss, no fuss. I like that. Some of the other spray paints, you know, it's like you're in there and you're spraying and you're spraying and you're spraying and you're spraying. Okay. I think I have this on. So, like I said, guys, this cup's super, super easy to do. Don't stress about it. You just put it all together and it looks amazing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Snooks. Oh my god, the glitter just goes everywhere. I was the other day, I was like doing something and I was like, how did I get glitter on me? I mean, I wasn't even in my workroom and yet I had glitter all over me. Ooh. Try to scoop up. And that's all there is to it. And you just let it dry really good before you seal. You know, like I said, I have not had to actually come back in and repair, color, anything, because I do get really good coverage with this stuff. As long as I get it all on before the stuff dry, if the Mod Podge dries. and then I'll let it dry really well, and then I'll brush it all down. But there he is. So I hope this was helpful, and that you guys do give it a try. I'll post some of the faces, the possible faces, up on the at the end in just a little bit. And so when you're deciding, you know, like I said, you go on Google, check it out. There's some cute water slide, or well, images that you could make into a water slide if you do that. I just started making my own water slides because I have trouble finding what I want. But that's it. That's entirely it. So you can see it's super easy to do. When you get your image, you sort of measure your spaces. So, you know, you want your face. Usually, a lot of the nutcrackers have like a beard. And that was one of the tricky, let's see if I have one. One of the trickier things, because I was looking at it. Yeah, there we go. So got this guy. And then I had another one that it actually fit even better than that one, but I'm not sure where I hid it. Again, I'm super good at finding stuff and then putting it in a safe place. Oh, here it is. This one's my favorite one. I really love this one. So this will be the one that I end up. Let me move him so you can see. So you want his beard to kind of come down just a little bit onto his coat. And then he's got a little set of those, I guess you call it military bars that go across the front of his outfit. And I have those in here somewhere. I was being like so good today and like cleaning up my area and getting ready for the live, and I was just sort of like putting stuff away. I did such a great job putting everything away that I ended up putting all of my project stuff away. Okay, so this is the belt buckle and the little part that's going to go on his jacket. Let me prop him up here. I can fix the bottom. So this will go over your red here. And then his face will come in. So that's why I was saying, you know, it's like when you're making them, you don't necessarily have to go all the way around the nutcracker. You could do half and then do the other half in a solid and put like a really nice saying on it, or seasonal wish or whatever. So anyhow, I hope you guys loved it, and thank you so much for being with me today. This is probably my shortest live ever, but that's how easy this was. It's really not difficult to do. It's like, seriously, anybody can do it. And I hope that you enjoyed. Next week, I have one coming up. Can't remember what I'm doing though. So I was going to do something cool anyhow. So if there's something you want to see, you want to know about how to do, like let me know, because I'm still looking for lives to do for the rest of the year, and I'm trying to get a schedule together with Amy on what it is that I'm going to be doing. So guys, have a great day. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Happy crafting.